Welcome back. We are halfway through our poll forecast, one of the biggest polling exercises we've done, and it's the first of a series of polls, which in the end we're going to visit more than 350 constituencies. So we're being spoiled rather. If we get this forecast wrong, we should be shocked. But there is still a health warning in all the data we put forward. The size of the sample allows us to bring the error rate or sampling error down to just plus or minus 2% rather than 3%, which can make a big difference. But still, remember that health warning, nothing is absolutely precise. Let's have a look now, move on to Maharashtra and see what's happening in the state of Maharashtra according to this opinion poll done by Hansa. 48 seats in Maharashtra, big state. BJP plus the Shiv Sena, 33 out of that 48, up 13 seats. The Congress plus the Nationalist Congress Party, 12, down 13 seats. And the MNS, 1 seat. That's a pretty big victory and a big improvement for the BJP Shiv Sena. Let's have a look at the votes percentages. This is what it looks like. Votes forecast according to this poll, 39% for the BJP and Shiv Sena, the Congress 35%, a swing away, down of 4%, and MNS maintains its 4%, but it's all focused in a particular area. Now, Dorab, you were saying something about the BJP Shiv Sena split in those seats, maybe not in proportion to their votes because the MNS is
contesting only against the BJP, against the Shiv Sena and not against the BJP. But you know, the Congress government and the NCP government, they've been fighting amongst themselves for so long. There are so many charges of corruption. So I'm quite surprised they've lost only so little in terms of votes. It really is a fairly dysfunctional government by any standards. So I think this was likely to happen. Though of course what's recently been happening is that Mr. Gadkari talking to Raj Thackeray has led to some sort of uneasiness. But still I think, as the poll suggests, they are on a winning wicket.
You know, I'm not able to reconcile two aspects of this.
Right.
The MNS, we know, was a spoiler for the NDA in 2009.
Right.
It cost them as many as 10 seats, 6 seats in Bombay plus Thane, Nasik, etc. Where the vote, the share, the MNS's vote was much more than the defeat margin for the NDA.
Right.
Now, I was looking at the list of these 10 seats and looking at the actual numbers. Some seats were lost by very small margins.
Right.
Even so, a 4% vote swing statewide.
Not a swing, zero swing. Still 4% they're getting. For the MNS you're talking about.
No, I'm saying, I'm saying in favor of the NDA. Sorry. With only a 4% swing in favor of the NDA, it's hard to see the MNS's vote share getting neutralized to the extent that the NDA is able to add, what is it? We're saying 13 more seats.
13 more seats, yeah.
So I'm a little puzzled by this as to why the MNS's spoiling factor is not so.
But I think you are looking mainly at the urban seats where MNS plays a game. MNS's vote share spread across. This is the total vote share across the state, and in some places very little.
Right.
So
I'm saying just look at the 10 seats.
Yeah.
Like, in Bombay, for example, there's no reason why the MNS's vote share is going to come down.
One doesn't know. I mean, that's what the poll has told us.
Right.
We are saying that Bala Nangaonkar will be the number 2 in South Bombay like it was last time. I don't know whether he'll be.
Right.
Just one other interesting factor. We did ask about who's the real heir to Balasaheb Thackeray. Is it Raj Thackeray or is it Uddhav Thackeray? And this is what the voters said. And this kind of reinforces what Siddharth was saying. Raj Thackeray, 47%, Uddhav Thackeray, 39%. So Raj Thackeray, very strong. And considered, this I think is mainly the BJP voters. These are the BJP voters and the Shiv Sena voters we asked. And they think Raj Thackeray is the true heir. And also we asked, okay, who would be the best chief minister? So just in terms of popularity of the various leaders, Uddhav Thackeray 7%, Sharad Pawar 14%. Of course, he's not in the running,
probably
so a lot of people may not have even mentioned him. Gopinath Munde 17%, Raj Thackeray above Gopinath Munde 20%, and the current Chief Minister Prithviraj Chavan at 28%. So he is the most popular. But let me bring in Kumar Ketkar. Of course, he's a old hand on our show, and it's good to have you with us. Siddharth makes a point that 33 seats for the BJP Shiv Sena seems a bit much, given the kind of vote percentages. Do you get the sense that on the ground that there is a swing in favor of the BJP Shiv Sena?
Actually, it is not swing in favor of BJP and Sena. It is an anti-Congress, anti-NCP actual wave across the state. And it is quite often people recognize the fact that BJP Sena is not actually a properly integrated alliance. Not only that, even the Sena, within the Sena, is quite divided, just as BJP is divided between Munde faction and Gadkari faction. Despite that, the strength or the strong wave, strong current against Congress and anti-NCP has actually helped the BJP Sena. So it is not the swing in favor of BJP Sena. I would say that the figure 33 even to me looks slightly more. Left to myself without doing any survey, I would have given BJP Sena maximum 30 seats and 18 to Congress and NCP, but 33 is not completely shocking to me, because in any case I was giving 30. But the main point I think which will remain to be tested in actual election is that how much damage the lack of credibility as governing party that BJP Sena is, finally people perceive, because BJP Sena are not perceived as parties or alliances with proper governing abilities. On the other hand, Congress and NCP are seen as corrupt, completely at present fighting with each other and dysfunctional alliance, and yet they are seen to be as parties which govern. So it's a very strange kind of contradiction or paradox, if you will.
Local BJP Shiv Sena are not seen as parties that, or people or individual personalities that govern. What about the role of Modi in this election?
Yeah, partly Modi is popular in particularly cities like Mumbai and Pune and Nasik, but I don't think Modi is really a factor in the Mofussil Maharashtra or rural Maharashtra. There perhaps the candidate will matter more, and the network of the Congress or NCP candidates will matter more, just as the anti-Congress, anti-NCP wave will matter more. Right. Not Modi as such, except of course in Mumbai, Pune and Nasik, Aurangabad belt.
Right. So Dhendra, with all your experience in these, in studying so many elections over the years, three factors: the importance of growing local regional factors, the importance of the, as Kumar Ketkar was just saying, the anti-Congress mood, and then the pro-Modi mood. How do you assess these three, say in Maharashtra? How important is local, how important is pro-Modi, how important is this anti-Congress feeling?
Yeah, before coming to these 3 points,
sure.
I want to say something, that your survey was conducted before a very shrewd move by Raj Thackeray just a few days ago, where he announced that he would field candidates, but they would support Modi.
I see.
That is going to benefit the BJP. It's going to benefit, of course, the MNS, but it may harm the Shiv Sena to some extent.
Interesting. Yes.
Maharashtra is one of the more urbanized states in India, and there is definitely a certain undercurrent of support for Narendra Modi, not just in the three cities that Kumar mentioned, but in all the cities and towns of Maharashtra, and it's going to benefit the BJP very significantly. And we should take into account the fact that the Shiv Sena was not in favor of Modi, but it is forced to support Modi. So Modi factor is very decisive in Maharashtra as far as the BJP Shiv Sena performance is concerned.
Right.
Secondly, after 15 years of power at the state level, Congress and NCP are really, they have lost face. They have not really performed well. Prithviraj Chauhan individually is considered as a good man, but the party is weak. Lot of internal struggle, and of course NCP is not a big force as it was earlier, so it's going to be benefit to BJP Shiv Sena alliance this time.
Right. Shekhar, so he's basically saying that this is as much a we've had three views: pro-Modi, anti-Congress, and then importance of local leaders and their ability to govern. Is it just one third in a voting decision, or how much?
No, I think it's one third if at all of the marginal vote, because parties have their ossified vote banks, right?
Because the change, let's say the change, floating voter
of the change. But I think the interesting thing that many of us have observed, I don't know whether you did or not, but I did, particularly traveling through Rajasthan, that among the youth, there is a very strong anti-Congress wave. And it's not something that I've been fully able to understand in terms of why, but whether it's there or not, I think it surely is there. And then if you just go anecdotally after that, people you run into, I go to speak at many educational institutions, I find the youth of this country are really furious with Congress.
Furious. I mean, you've not seen this kind of negative feeling.
Yes, because one, they think Congress party represents just the kind of sense of entitlement that they hate. So Congress represents many things that they dislike, which includes, mind you, disrespect of elders, right? Disrespect of elders, disrespect of authority, of legally elected constitutional authority.
Right.
Young people are very irreverential. 60% people, more or less, who vote in 2014 would have been born after Mrs. Gandhi's assassination, Indira Gandhi's assassination. This is a completely new India. This India owes nothing to nobody from the past.
Right.
And I think these are people who are now breaking away. They are not taking their voting preferences from their parents, certainly not from their fathers.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's just move on. Just
make one
sorry,
small
very
observation.
quick one.
You know, it's not the seat share that the seat numbers that puzzle me.
It's the vote conversion.
Like I would have imagined a larger vote share. A larger swing away from the Congress.
Well, there's a lot of effort gone into trying to convert this, but you know, you could be right. But these are the votes are the survey. The conversion is by all these different methods, and if the votes are right, then the seats will be low.
Conversions by Dorab.
The votes are wrong, if ever they're wrong, because of Hansa, and the seat are because of him. So, but if they're right, you know.
If you're wrong with anything we said, that's because they misled us.
Exactly, they misled us. Exactly. Okay, let's move on to Madhya Pradesh. Don't mislead us like this, please. Let's have a look at the seat forecast for Madhya Pradesh. This is where Shivraj Chauhan, major leader, major BJP leader.
Is there a reason we are not giving prime ministerial preferences after West Bengal?
Delhi. No, we are giving. It's coming up.
They only compare against women, please.
No, we are giving prime ministerial. The BJP is 24 out of 29 seats, just sweeping the state like they did in the assembly elections, doing even better. The Congress 4, down 8 since last time, and the BSP picking up one on the border, one constituency on the border of Uttar Pradesh. Let's have a look at the votes.
We didn't have to conduct a poll because Prannoy got the forecast right on our travels. At least I know the results. Why are you wasting your time doing the poll?
No, I got it wrong. I said 166, he got 165.
Correct, that's right. Oh, again.
Yeah, not happy with that. Here's the votes percentage. BJP 51% and the Congress 34%. A swing away from the Congress of 7%. And the BSP small swing away as well. Two other things we did ask. We wanted to check how important the Modi factor is, how important the Shivraj Chauhan factor is, and we'll come to those results. I don't know if they're churned. Let's have a look at them. Both these, and they're slightly contradictory. We asked who, for the people of Madhya Pradesh, who's a better leader? Shivraj Chauhan got 76% and Narendra Modi 24% of the people of Madhya Pradesh. Mainly BJP voters. These are BJP voters, not the whole.
And not as PM, as better leader.
As a better leader. Then we asked, what influenced your voting decision? How important was Mr. Modi and how important was your chief minister? And we just hold it there. Rajasthan, Modi, 65% of the. It was like 65% of the decision was because of Modi. That's why they're voting for the BJP, and only 35% for the chief minister. But look in Madhya Pradesh, it's 50-50, but still Mr. Modi is very important, 52%, unlike the 76-24 we just saw. But people are very clear that this is a Lok Sabha election.
Look at Chhattisgarh.
But in Chhattisgarh, it's Modi riding on the coattails of Raman Singh.
And you can see the figures actually tell you the story of politics, because Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh are states where chief ministers have won their third terms. So they are really enormously popular leaders within their states. And that is the BJP's big strength. You know, they have a very prominent national leader, but they also have very powerful state leaders.
But
and they're keeping discipline in the party.
Right. Yeah, but they managed to live with strong state leaders, which the Congress kind of sidetracks them if they become too strong.
Congress doesn't tolerate from more than a weekend.
Sometimes it can't live without them, so you have to bring Yediyurappa back.
Okay, joining us from Bhopal is Girja Shankar. Thanks very much for joining us. You're a keen political analyst for all these years. We've known each other. It's just that Mr. Shivraj Chauhan just gets stronger and stronger in this state. Even if his cabinet is often disbanded because of corruption or various tainted on various issues, his image is still as strong as ever, if not stronger.
Oh, it's there because in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, though in your survey it shows that Modi has a little more appeal than Shivraj, but I feel that in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, only both the chief minister, their working, their style, their personality and their own vote appeal is very much significant in this Lok Sabha election also. Although in Vidhan Sabha election, people have voted for Shivraj and Raman Singh, and this time in Lok Sabha, people will vote definitely for Modi, and this will make certain difference. But their popularity of the chief minister is a very good asset for the BJP. And you see that in Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh, just after Vidhan Sabha election, he is trying to maintain that momentum which he created in Vidhan Sabha. He is right from the day he took over office, he is touring all over the state. Though he is not campaigning for Lok Sabha, he is not asking for the vote, but he is campaigning all the way. He is moving all over the state. So he's just trying to maintain that momentum for Lok Sabha, and that is why I could see that the 24 seats are a little more can get BJP.
Right. Dora, do voters really distinguish between a local election and a Lok Sabha election, and they split their vote and they vote for different issues, different people?
We've had very few elections held together. In the old days, they were all together.
Right.
But today, I think if you see, the vote splitting is not very significant. Orissa, Andhra, there is some vote splitting. Particularly with the major issue like Telangana, there would have been a vote splitting last time. But I don't think people are so clear unless there is some gross like or dislike or a charismatic leader. I think a leader often, because there is no ideology, as we know, a candidate given a Congress ticket next morning is in the BJP. But there's no question of ideology in our elections at all.
So Siddharth, what do you make of those kind of figures? I find them quite fascinating that in Rajasthan, it's 65% Modi. In Madhya Pradesh, it's 50-50 Modi and Shivraj Chauhan. And in Raman Singh is the dominant factor here. Whose coattails? But they all these leaders are reinforcing each other. And as Shekhar said, very different from the Congress.
I think it's at the end of the day, it's very hard to disaggregate, quite frankly, because you're asking, you're asking questions and you get a very situational kind of an answer.
Right.
I think the decision that the voter takes has to do with the fact that, let's say they're voting for BJP, it has to do with the fact that they're disenchanted with the Congress at the center. It has to do with the fact that Modi is the prime ministerial candidate. It has to do with the fact that they're happy with Raman Singh or Shivraj's performance. And so I'm saying it's a combination of all things. I wouldn't read too much into this, although I think it is significant that the individual chief ministers get quite a lot of bounce, and particularly the
two-term ones,
the two-term or three-term ones, absolutely.
Girja, just one more thing about Shivraj Chauhan's ambitions for the centre. We've seen Jayalalitha saying one day she's ready to be PM, Mamta saying she's ready, Nitish saying he's ready. Is Shivraj Chauhan, has he got any plans in that direction at all, you think?
See, I would like to say something about this. You see the whole politics of the country, it is all driven and governed by personalities. And so far we have seen the states of the survey. So the basic contest in the whole Lok Sabha election is between Congress and BJP. Wherever Congress is losing, BJP is gaining. But the regional parties are intact. Rather, they are increasing their strength. So all the regional leaders, even in the national parties, they are becoming stronger, and they are making very good contribution in Lok Sabha election also. So far as Shivraj Singh Chauhan is concerned, for national politics, though his name is always in circulation as an alternative leader to Modi, but I don't think Shivraj Singh himself is planning anything to do in national politics. After completing his third term, definitely he would like to go to center, but right now I think the entire party and entire leader, they are now devoted to Modi. If Parliament result is little bit something different to the expectation, then something may happen.
Very interesting, very interesting. So he's just on the sidelines but not making a move yet.
I mean, he would be a highly attractive candidate were the BJP's potential allies to say that, look, we're not happy with Modi being PM. Right.
This Shivraj Chauhan would be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so many names being bandied around, but God knows what's going to happen. But thanks very much for that perspective. Let's quickly move on to your neighboring state of Chhattisgarh and look at the seat forecast there. Remember, there are 11 seats in Chhattisgarh. The forecast is 9 for the BJP. They had 10 last time, and the Congress too, they'll gain 1. I think this is on the back of a pretty closely fought assembly election. So although Raman Singh is doing very well, 9 out of 11, he's still down 1 seat since last time. And here's the vote forecast: 44% to the BJP, down 1% swing, and 38% to the Congress, a 1% swing in their favor. And Sunil Kumar joins us. Thanks very much, Sunil Kumar. We went around together during the assembly elections, and a lot of what you said turned out to be right. Do you get this sense that Raman Singh is going to do it again? And according to our poll, it's mainly Raman Singh and not Modi in Chhattisgarh.
As I had told you during assembly elections that Modi wasn't a great factor in Chhattisgarh. In this election, Modi enjoys a slightly more influence than in assembly elections. But at the same time, BJP, which is likely to get 9 seats as per your prediction, and we also feel so, BJP will get these seats irrespective of Modi influence. Just Raman Singh would deliver 9 seats on a platter to his party.
Right. So it's still overwhelming. So it's a landslide really for Raman Singh and for Modi. But you're saying that while Modi is important because his Lok Sabha elections, still Raman Singh would have done this anyway.
I'm saying that Modi's influence would work to a greater extent, but even without that influence, Raman Singh is capable of delivering at least 9 seats to his party. And in assembly election, if you remember, the difference of votes between the two parties was less than 1%. It was 0.75 or 76%. This time it is going to be 10 times of that. It could be 7.5, 7.6, even more than that.
Very interesting, very interesting. Thanks very much for that perspective. We'll be seeing you, we'll be down there for our battleground, so I look forward to exchanging ideas with you. Actually, one-way exchange. I'll get ideas all from you. Thanks very much for joining us. Quickly, let's move on, and then I want your comments on this state of Gujarat. And Sudhindra, I'd like your views on this. Let's have a look at the forecast according to the opinion poll for the state of Gujarat, Narendra Modi's home state. Out of 26 seats, the BJP 23, up 8 seats, and the Congress from 11 is down to 3, down 8 seats. And let's have a look at the percentage vote. For the BJP, 50% are going to be voting according to the poll for Mr. Modi, and the BJP and the Congress 40%, down 4%. We asked also a couple of other questions, but Sudhindra, 50% is a very key figure. That means half the state you can win with 45%, 43%, but it is a two-party state, and Mr. Modi has done even better than ever before. Is that expected because your own man is also for Prime Minister?
No, that's certainly expected because the BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate comes from Gujarat, and if you've seen in the past 10-12 years, one of the major planks of Narendra Modi is Gujarat Gaurav, Gujarat ki Asmita.
Right.
The self-pride of Gujarati people. This, coupled with the fact that he is going to be the Prime Minister, will certainly give a big boost to the BJP, and therefore 23 out of 26 is not surprising at all.
Not surprising.
But the Congress vote share, 40%, it shows that the Congress is there. If not in this election, in the coming election, Assembly or Lok Sabha, the Congress is there to do well. So Congress, should not be written off in Gujarat.
Yeah, 40% Shekhar is a fairly solid base in a polarized state.
And it also tells you the opportunity that Congress has been missing, because 40% is fine, but who's the Congress party's leader in Gujarat?
Quite.
If Mr. Waghela is the leader, I think most people would rather go with the original. But having said that, just to make a minor editorial correction, Prannoy, Narendra Modi is not Sudhindra Kulkarni's candidate. Sudhindra Kulkarni has been for Prime Minister. He's been very upfront about this, and he's paid the price for it.
Now, I think what's surprising is not the added seats that Modi is going to win from Gujarat, because he is representing the state after all. What's surprising is the kind of displays of insecurity that we saw by BJP cadre when a relative minnow or a complete minnow like Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia visit the state, and you have their motorcade being stoned and various obstacles put in the way. I think that was what, maybe that suggests on the ground that insecurity betrays some uncertainty about the way things
could
will
it be
actually go
intolerance rather than just insecurity?
Yeah, but I'm saying either way it's intolerance that...
Yeah, but that's different from
Let's
insecurity.
ask Leena Mishra, who's in Ahmedabad. Thanks very much for joining us.
Prannoy?
Sorry?
My colleague.
Your colleague.
Absolutely.
Please don't feel constrained in any way. You can tell us all his political leanings and any negative feedback on air publicly. But tell us, is it intolerance? Is it insecurity? Because he's getting 50% of the vote, 23 out of 26 seats. Mr. Modi is sailing at the moment.
Yes, I think although Gujarat has been voting differently in the assembly elections and in the Lok Sabha elections all these years. Even in 2002, when the BJP got 127 of the 182 seats, in the Lok Sabha elections in 2004, the BJP got just 15 of the 26 seats, But this time the elections seem to be driven by this Modi factor. It looks like, and the BJP itself is aiming at 100% victory from Gujarat. So 23, I think they would be really upset to see, just 23 seats predicted in this poll. So, yeah.
Prannoy, outside the North Indian states, we are not used to having prime ministers. So when one of our lot, Maharashtra, Gujarat, we really go for him. I mean, UP, Bihar, you guys are used to having prime ministers. We ain't used to having them. So I can imagine the
Who
extra.
are you talking to? I'm not you guys from UP, Bihar.
Haryana.
You've had a chief minister.
We for once produced a prime ministerial candidate.
We haven't
at least for TV channels, if nothing else.
Well, we haven't done even that yet.
When we're talking about
yes,
so much
it is
focus
a lot
on... yeah, sorry, just 1 second. I do want your opinion on the next bit of information, graphic, which we got from our opinion poll. We asked everybody, if Modi becomes Prime Minister, who would be the best Chief Minister without Modi there? And these are the results. Anandiben
Patel, yeah, 3 Patels out of 4.
54%, Amit Shah 24%, Nitin Patel 12%, and Saurav Patel 10%, and Anand 54%. That's a very clear lead. Leena Mishra, 54%, is that expected? Do you expect that? That she's the second face after Modi?
Yes, more or less, because she has been the number 2 in Modi's government, and also she has been a very strong woman leader even before Modi. She was also in the Keshubhai government as a very important minister. So even on her own, she's seen as a very strong leader. So there is every chance that she could be the chief minister if Mr. Modi were to become
Prime
Minister.
We also asked, should Mr. Modi contest from UP? And we asked both in Gujarat, and in Gujarat 33% said yes, 67% no, we want him to contest from Gujarat. But look at what the voters of UP said. 62% yes said yes, we want Mr. Modi to contest from UP, and these are BJP voters. BJP voters. Sorry, we should have made that clear.
Yes,
BJP voters, 62% of them in UP said we want him from here, and 67% in Gujarat said no, we don't want him to go anywhere else.
I think the BJP election committee meeting on at the moment.
No, they apparently postponed the decision till tomorrow. They're waiting to see this. Yeah. So what's your guess? Will he contest from both?
I think
either one? Sorry. Please go ahead, Leena Mishra.
He should, looking at the BJP, he should be contesting from both, because if he contests just from Gujarat, it will be seen as, he's chickening out of the national contest, because, here it's a no-brainer, he's going to win. But if he contests from UP, it will be a real challenge, and he would be able to prove that, you know, he is a leader even outside Gujarat. As for the UP polls, the BJP voters who are saying that they would need, they would want Modi to contest from there, is probably because they do not have a formidable leader as him. And in Gujarat, they would like to see a prime minister who's elected. Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to. We asked one all India question about what is the biggest fear if Rahul Gandhi comes to power, and what's the biggest fear if Mr. Modi comes to power. Interesting results. I don't know whether you'd agree with them, but here are their biggest fears of this country if either of these two leaders become prime minister. If Modi becomes prime minister, they said their biggest fear is that Hindu-Muslim tension will rise. And this is from the people right across the country. This is all India. And if Rahul becomes prime minister, corruption will rise. So these are the two polarizing factors right now. And
also there was another one. We've only listed the first one. For Congress, there is also indecision, indecisiveness. So the central government's performance is being visited on Rahul. That corruption will continue, and indecisiveness in government will continue.
And in Modi, the second or roundabout there was an Indo-Pak war, people said.
One of them,
And these were unprompted.
And of course, we'll win.
Oh, we'll win.
I think, coming back to the question of where he should stand from, I think Mr. Modi should set an example and say, just like the BJP condemned Sonia Gandhi for contesting from Bellary and Raebareli, that this nonsense of fighting from 2 seats should stop. It's a waste of the tax. I know it's legal, it's allowed, but it's a waste of taxpayers' money.
Right.
And I think
you have to have an election all over
Mr. Modi is aspiring to a prime ministerial post on the national stage, let him say, fine, I'm going to fight from Uttar Pradesh. That's what the BJP
is. That's what you admire about Arvind Kejriwal, because he showed a risk-taking ability. Only 1 seat in Delhi, that too against Sheila Dikshit.
Amazing.
Congress party's
that was
seat.
an amazing
And that
decision.
made him a national leader. And people then see him sort of in contrast with, say, Congress party's leaders, which not only go to their safe constituencies, but also make private treaties with Samajwadi Party. So in fact, I wonder how do other candidates of the Congress Party feel in UP?
It is actually a big decision, because if Mr. Modi fights from UP, one of the current trends in Indian politics is you've got big leaders, but they are not big leaders outside their state. Jayalalitha doesn't go beyond, Mamta doesn't go beyond, Mulayam doesn't go, Mayawati to some extent did, but that didn't accelerate. So he'll break the state boundary, which is a huge thing. Thanks very much, Leena Mishra. Let's quickly move on to Jharkhand and then Bihar. Let's have a look. Jharkhand seat forecast. Let's have a look at that. Here are the seats forecast. Oh, first the votes. BJP 25%, Congress 21%. This is a very complicated state, and I think I'll ask Dorab to explain it all, but I'll give you the seat forecast. It hasn't quite come up. The BJP, there are 14 seats in Jharkhand, 6 to the BJP, 4 to the Congress, 2 to the JMM and 2 to others. Now try and forecast that.
The votes don't mean anything at all, because everybody ties up with everybody in every single election, keeps changing. So it's difficult to see what the vote swing to you is, because you don't know what the vote you got last time. So it's an extremely messy state, and we've really had to struggle to make this forecast. It's a real struggle. I mean, you got to do it 3 or 4 ways. See, really is a struggle. But it's a very messy state.
You struggle because I just gave up. Let's move on to Bihar and see what's the forecast for Bihar. Now, this is a crucial state. Nitish in Bihar, don't forget.
Where too there's a struggle, because alliances have changed. There is no vote last time.
Nobody wants to hear your
In
tough
fact, no,
luck
also
stories.
let's say
okay, here we are. Vote forecast for Bihar. BJP plus Mr. Paswan's party 32%, Congress plus Mr. Lalu Prasad's party 26%, and the JDU 22%. A big decline for the JDU. We couldn't show swings because all the alliances have changed. Here's the seats forecast. 40 seats, a big state, 23 for the BJP plus Mr. Paswan. Congress 11, including Lalu Prasad. And Nitish Kumar down from 20 to 5, minus 15. The other day I met a very good, astute observer of politics in Bihar, Shekhar, and he met Nitish and he said, I think you're one of the finest, most intuitive politicians for all these years, but you've made one big mistake in your life. and you made it at this critical juncture. Do you think it was a mistake?
Yes, it was a mistake because he could have waited. He could have said, I don't accept Modi as the prime ministerial choice, but this is the BJP's choice, NDA will decide. And he could have made his move after the election. I think he made pretty much the same mistake that Digvijay Singh made when he became a successful chief minister in Madhya Pradesh. He started listening too much to the activists and NGOs and frankly journalists from Delhi. And I think he just got so swayed by the praise he got from them that he pretty much got instigated into this just to get some applause. And this is political suicide because he was a good chief minister.
I think Nitish took a stand based on what he believed. He took a stand also based on, I think, his sense that the RJD was going to bounce back, and that there would be a lot of negative energy generated by the Modi candidature in the state, particularly among minority voters. I think some of those calculations are perhaps correct, but the overall Modi effect
but Siddharth,
in Bihar seems to have
if I may interrupt, shouldn't he have made that call then in 2002?
Absolutely.
Why wait 12 years?
I think it has to do with the fact that, the way they rationalize it. That is one thing for Modi to be a chief minister and you're allied to a central government which is, ostensibly criticizing him, and the PM is talking about Raj Dharam, and it's a different matter to be allied with him when he's. So that's a calculation he made.
Right.
But I think that for the BJP, this is one of the crucial states where they have to do really well if Modi is with those figures. And I think they have to.
There is one interesting thing, and we'll bring in Professor Shoaibul Gupta in a moment. But I wanted to ask you, Professor Gupta, we asked who's the best chief minister, and Nitish still is way up. But in these Lok Sabha elections, he's getting decimated. Look at him. All the voters, 65%, and the second is Lalu at 18%, and Sushil Kumar Modi at 9%, and Ram Vilas Paswan at 8%. And even the BJP voters rate Nitish Kumar at 58 compared to their own candidate, 24, Sushil Kumar Modi. And the Congress voters also rate him way above even Lalu, their ally now. So locally, he's still very strong, but he's just not being able to convert that into seats in this Lok Sabha elections. Give us the analysis from the ground of this dichotomy that Bihar is going through right now. Professor Gupta?
I think, I think one of the reason when NDA broke in Bihar,
right,
that break was not based on any provincial contradiction. It was based on Modi's possible Modi becoming the Prime Minister's candidate, which was a little bit more esoteric. So if you see the heritage of NDA as far as its functioning in Bihar is concerned, I think it had a very positive record. So when the split came about, possibly a large section felt, if your statistics are correct, right, so they felt that Nitish Kumar is responsible for the break.
Well, I must tell you now, one little historic. I'll just give you one factor, interesting factor, that historically we've tended to get Bihar most correct in all our forecasts, because obviously the people of Bihar are probably the most honest people in this country. They answer the questions without fear or favor. But this still could be wrong.
I think they're also politically the most astute and clear-headed. You get that sense when you travel through Bihar.
Yes, you do. Sorry, go ahead.
And the other factor is that immediately after the split, right, on the question of Prime Minister's position, Nitish Kumar assiduously refused that he is not a Prime Minister's candidate.
Right.
Now, if you see Bengal or Odisha or Tamil Nadu, the provincial popularity of the Chief Minister is getting reflected even in the parliamentary election. That is not there in Bihar.
That's the interesting difference.
There is a disjunct between, so there is a disjunct between the Nitish Kumar's own popularity, which your figures show, and the vote share or the seat share in the parliamentary election. I think one of the things that emerged, because in a place like Bihar, which is very much politically conscious,
Right.
Because of the anti-incumbency factor of the Congress, the entire anti-incumbency factor has gone over to BJP, and because Congress is projecting an alternative Prime Minister's candidate, possibly the Congress has relatively emerged better than JDU. That is the only explanation. But if the provincial election is held today, or if the provincial popularity of a person is determined, I think Nitish Kumar is way ahead, because if you see the performance track record of Bihar in the last 8 years, there has been several development which is quite unprecedented.
Right, but let me
So
just ask Dorab,
the
that's
track
an
record
important,
of the government.
it's an important point you're making, Dorab. Here, I mean, in other states,
I think
Bengal,
vote splitting
it's been,
is likely to take
the local
place.
leader
Yeah.
is projected to the all India state,
Yeah.
but here it's just a complete difference.
But I think, the assault on Nitish Kumar by Narendra Modi and the BJP locally has made the national election separate from the local election. So I think if both elections were held today simultaneously in Bihar, you might find people splitting votes, one for
even if it's fine.
Mr. Modi and one for Nitish Kumar. I think that is unlikely to happen, but that could have happened.
Huge difference to other states, isn't
No,
it?
but I think the point that Saibal made, the anti-UPA anti-incumbency, anti-UPA vote in Tamil Nadu and Bengal, only a very small share of that goes to the BJP, because they're not a major player. Here the equation is entirely different. In fact, I think that they would probably, and their own leaders expect to do, 23 actually is a bit on the conservative side, because the numbers they're looking at, 25, 26, when I was in Patna last, these are the figures that were being talked about, 25 to 30.
Well, I wouldn't bet on 23 against 25. That could easily happen, really. 2%, no problem. But yes, you never know. Okay, one last question we did ask everybody, and we didn't prompt them with any names. We just said, who do you think will be the best Prime Minister for India? We didn't give a list of names. We said, you just give us any name. And we listed all the names, and this is what it looked like. These are all across India. Jayalalitha got 3%. Next, Mamata Banerjee, neck and neck, 3%. Mayawati, 4%.
It's the biggest state.
Manmohan Singh, still there at 5%. Arvind Kejriwal, 6%. Rahul Gandhi, 27%. And Narendra Modi, 42%. These are unprompted names that came from this huge sample right across the country based on electoral rules and a randomized sample.
But I'm sure we have a regional split or a state split also.
Yes, of course.
Yes, we've got everything.
And
by
obviously,
state,
if you're in a
by
bigger
region,
state like
by-
Mayawati, you do well. Mulayam's only got 2% supporting him for Prime Minister.
So
that shouldn't stop him.
It's still a two-horse race, really. The basic main two parties are way ahead of everybody else. Does that surprise you?
In fact, if anything, if you look at the figures carefully, I think it will take another election. But contrary to what people had believed, that the two national parties will decline collectively heavily, and regional players will take everything. I think the reverse seems to be happening, and a phenomenon that we saw starting to happen 10 years back, that is the others column sort of thinning out, is now getting stronger and stronger. So actually, one, voters are getting more decisive, and second, voters are getting less divided.
It's also a two-horse race if you are thinking of it as a presidential election, which it isn't, right? So once you factor in all the all the provincial or state level contests,
the first time in
probably get a
India's
different
history, a
picture.
man has campaigned 9 months running by the time election ends. Normally, the session would have closed now. These guys would have gone.
You want to be Prime Minister of India, you got to work
No.
for it.
But I'm saying nobody has ever done this kind of presidential campaign in India's history.
But in
And
future,
television
people will do it.
Yes, I know they will
They
do
will
it. But I'm
have to
saying
do it,
so.
yes.
Television is becoming a much. TV is an important
No, and
medium
also,
to take your message
in many
across.
ways, you have to give a lot of the credit to the decision taken 9 months
Yes.
ago by Rajnath Singh.
Yeah.
He took a decision, took on his old party leadership and went ahead with it. Sudhendra Kulkarni, I wish you were sitting here and could interrupt these people and put them in their place. Your final thoughts before we close for tonight.
I want to make one point about Bihar, Prannoy.
Yes, please.
Because Nitish Kumar going out of the alliance is going to change the nature, not just the arithmetic nature, but also the ideological nature of NDA. Bihar is the only state where the alliance between the BJP and JDU, used to be called NDA. In no other state, a state level alliance was called NDA, which is very significant because NDA came into being principally because of the contribution of Bihar. It is George Fernandez and Nitish Kumar who brought the BJP out of that circle of untouchability in 1996. And therefore, Nitish Kumar going out of NDA will reconfigure NDA not just in terms of numbers, but some ideological change will have to take place.
Interesting, yes.
What shape it will take, we don't know.
But it's not just a numerical, arithmetic, psephological change, it's a huge ideological issue.
Because you see, Nitish Kumar represents a party which is one of the only section of the Janata Parivar. All other Janata Dal factions are not with the BJP. But one faction came back to BJP and gave it that broader acceptance. Now
Right.
NDA will have to restructure itself after the election.
I think he makes a very profound point because all the other potential allies of the BJP are not anchored in any ideology to
Well,
the
left
same
of centre
extent.
ideology,
Yeah,
certainly.
I would say even ideology. Forget
yeah.
left of centre.
Yes, yes.
I mean, one can argue about where Nitish exactly stands, but I'm saying it's pretty clear. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all the time we have for tonight. Unfortunately, we couldn't do all the states tonight. So tomorrow we take up some major states, including Uttar Pradesh, which is crucial and fascinating. And then, of course, the All India picture and the All India seats and votes. And some other interesting All India sidelights about women's safety and other issues. But the final figure of who's going to be Prime Minister at this stage, the final forecast for All India and for Uttar Pradesh, tomorrow night between 8 and 10. Do join us. Thanks for watching today. Bye-bye.